Ever slipped on a wet floor in a store? It's not just an embarrassing moment. It can lead to serious injuries. You went shopping for groceries, not for a trip to the emergency room. Imagine this. Lucy is driving home from work and gets rear-ended by a speeding driver. She ends up with a serious neck injury requiring multiple surgeries. Even if Lucy had minor neck issues before, the fact that the accident made them worse and now requires surgery means she's entitled to compensation. You've probably heard the terms accident and incident thrown around, but did you know they mean very different things in the legal world? Instead, we call it an incident or occurrence because it was preventable and someone, in this case the texting driver, is responsible. Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. My name is Grzegorz Czubernat, your friendly neighborhood personal injury attorney here in Hinsdale, Illinois. Today, we're diving into some of the questions you've been asking me at the firm. Have you ever wondered what the difference between an accident and an incident is, or why you should think twice before calling something an accident? Stick around because we're breaking it all down. And hey, if we don't cover everything, don't worry, we've got a lineup of episodes coming your way. I am Grzegorz Czubernat, and I have spent my career fighting for people who've been hurt in accidents here in Illinois. My mission? To make sure you get the compensation you deserve. If you've been injured and need a hand, you know where to find me. Czubernatlaw.com. Now, let's get into today's topic. Alright, let's kick things off with some terminology that might seem small but can make a big difference in your case. You've probably heard the terms accident and incident thrown around, but did you know they mean very different things in the legal world? Picture this. You're driving and someone crashes into you because they were texting. Most people would call that an accident, right? But in the legal world, when I represent the injured party, we avoid that term because it implies that no one was at fault and that it was unavoidable. Instead, we call it an incident or occurrence because it was preventable and someone, in this case the texting driver, is responsible. The defense will try to paint it as an unfortunate accident to downplay their liability. But we know better. See the difference? It is a crucial point in personal injury law. Why does it matter? Because personal injury cases are generally based on the theory of negligence, which involves someone failing to exercise appropriate care. The required level of care varies depending on the situation. If their careless actions or omissions cause harm to another person, they can be held legally responsible for those damages. Now, let's talk about what an accident attorney actually does. When you're dealing with a personal injury case, my job is to jump right away and start working on getting you the compensation you deserve. The first thing I do is to get a good understanding of your injuries and how they have impacted your life. This means talking to you, reviewing your medical records, and maybe even consulting with various experts. But it doesn't stop there. I also gather all the necessary evidence to build a strong case. This could include everything from police reports and witness statements to photos and videos of the incident. My goal is to present your claims in the most compelling way possible, showing clearly how the other party's negligence has affected you. This way, we can pursue the best possible outcome for your situation. In Illinois, there are several categories of damages for which you can obtain compensation. Let's break them down one by one. Medical expenses. This covers all costs for treatment and rehabilitation after an accident. Think doctor visits, hospital stays, surgeries, medications, everything, both now and in the future. Imagine this. Lucy is driving home from work and gets rear-ended by a speeding driver. She ends up with a serious neck injury requiring multiple surgeries. The at-fault driver's insurance tries to argue that Lucy had pre-existing neck issues to reduce her compensation. But here's the thing. Under Illinois law, a jury can consider the aggravation of pre-existing conditions when determining compensation. So even if Lucy had minor neck issues before, the fact that the accident made them worse and now requires surgery means she's entitled to compensation. Now, let's say Lucy didn't have any prior neck issues but had a bone disease leading to greater injuries than a healthy person might have had. Guess what? The at-fault party is responsible for the full extent of the damages, even if they couldn't have predicted such outcomes. Under Illinois law, the liable party must take the injured person as they find them, meaning they're responsible even for rare or unexpected sensitivities. Loss of normal life. This refers to the temporary or permanent limitation of your ability to enjoy life. It includes the inability to participate in activities or hobbies you once loved. Think about John, a mountain biker hit by a car while riding near his house. Now he can't bike anymore, something he loved doing every weekend with his family. Not only does John have medical bills, but he's also lost something he enjoyed dearly. That's where compensation for loss of normal life comes in. Keeping a diary of how this incident affects his daily life, relationships, and overall happiness can be really helpful in his case. Pain and suffering. This is the physical and emotional discomfort resulting from your injuries. It's tough to put a value on this pain, so it's important to keep a diary or record of how it affects your life. We'll dive deeper into this in future episodes. Lost wages. An accident can prevent you from working, causing financial losses during your recovery and potentially beyond. Punitive damages. In some cases, you might seek punitive damages from the party responsible for the accident. Unlike other types of compensation, these aren't meant to cover costs and losses, but to punish the defendant when their actions go beyond ordinary negligence and constitute gross negligence or intentional misconduct. Besides these basic categories, other types of damages may be considered depending on the specifics of your case. After discussing the role of a lawyer, let's dive into the types of accidents that often lead to personal injuries. These scenarios are more common than you might think and can have serious consequences. Let's break it down. Car accidents. Picture this. You're driving down the highway, minding your own business, when suddenly, bam, another car crashes into you. Car accidents are frequent occurrence on our roads and often lead to severe injuries. It's not just about car collisions. Pedestrian accidents are also part of the mix. Whether it's a fender bender or a major crash, the impact on your life can be huge. Motorcycle accidents. Now, imagine you're riding your motorcycle on a sunny day, wind in your hair, feeling free as a bird. But motorcyclists are particularly vulnerable to serious injuries in traffic accidents. Many of them ride without helmets, in flip-flops and t-shirts, thinking they look cool in their stylish sunglasses. Unfortunately, factors like driver distraction, improper lane changes, or poor road conditions can turn that freedom into a tragedy in an instant. Store accidents. Ever slipped on a wet floor in a store? It's not just an embarrassing moment. It can lead to serious injuries. Think about heavy objects falling from shelves, accidents involving forklifts, or hazardous conditions in store parking lots. You went shopping for groceries, not for a trip to the emergency room. Workplace accidents. Imagine you're at work on a ladder trying to fix something, and suddenly you lose balance and fall. Falls from heights, whether from scaffolding, ladders, or other elevated places, can cause severe injuries like fractures, sprains, or head injuries. Handling dangerous machines or tools is another scenario. Mechanical devices such as saws, drills, and presses can cause serious injuries like finger or hand amputations, bone fractures, or even death if not operated with proper care and safety. These accidents can lead to permanent injuries, significantly limiting a person's ability to perform daily activities and work. These examples highlight the common types of accidents that can happen to anyone, anywhere, anytime. And when they do, it's crucial to know your rights and the steps you should take to protect yourself. Thank you for staying with me until the end. If you want to listen to my podcast on other platforms, remember that our podcast is now available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If you want to stay updated with our latest episodes, be sure to subscribe to our channel and give this video a thumbs up. You can find my contact information at czubernatlaw.com. See you next week.